Hey guys, um, as I can see, as you can see, this is a little better now. So, and I see not everyone has joined me yet, so I will wait a little bit. And in the meantime, I can just get a few things done already. And anyone who's missing out, hi Lucia, nice to see you. Um, so yeah, I have no idea why that just happened. So, but I'm here, and I guess it's one of those weird things that happens with spirits sometimes. So, um, almost lost track of what I wanted to talk about. Sometimes it's just all these technical things. Basically, that get so much distraction that way. So, tonight I'm going to be talking about Belial, and as well as kind of mixing it up with honoring him a bit, like I did with the other spirits as well. You know, just he deserves it so much. Like, he has such a bad reputation that is not what he deserves. So I will be just, as I'm bringing my offerings to him, talk about him a little bit and why I think that reputation is not something he deserves, or in a sense he does deserve. It's kind of his own doing, but I will touch on that as well. So hey Ginny, hey Dimona, and hello to everyone else. I did spread like the new link on my Facebook profile, so I hope the others that were in the other in the other chat will catch up on that one. So yeah, once again, I'm very sorry for this messy stuff. So well, I'm gonna start with just getting him some nice wine. He likes that a lot. And as for the others, the same as with the other spirits that I work with, he also has his nice little offering jar that is just for him. As you can see right here, it's a bit shiny. What it is actually, I made his sigil with sort of ink that I made myself. Hey Chuck! Yeah, it's typical for Belial, but also just typical for spirits in general. I hope you guys can see the little altar that I have here. Maybe I need to move it a little bit closer, if that works. You don't have to see that ugly door behind me. So yeah, it's gonna get a nice lot of it because I'm not gonna be drinking that much wine. Of course, I am gonna share with him. I know this is very stylish, like drinking wine straight from the bottom, because I don't have a glass with me right here. So that's one thing. I will be adding some blood later. Got some other stuff for him as well. So yeah, I would like to touch upon that reputation that he has, and his style of teaching, which is kind of how he gained that reputation. So he is known as the Lord of Lies, and as a trickster spirit. But this is, yeah, to a lot of people, including myself, like, this was a very big obstacle for me. And I have found out that there is actually something to be learned from that. Um, so yeah, yes, he tells lies and he tricks you, but um, it's his way of teaching also. And I have learned some very valuable lessons from that because I kind of like the title says, um, by because he lies to you, because he tricks you, he is teaching you how to detect a lie and how to, in a kind of safe way, sort of, because he's not gonna really screw you over. In a sort of safe way, teach you how to detect if you're being messed with, if someone is fucking with you, you know, and that is extremely valuable. And um, it's one of these things that if you do not appreciate that lesson, he's very likely to just drop you or not be interested in teaching you because well, it's kind of what he teaches in a way. It's yeah, if you appreciate that, but also well, there seem to be some people that think he is never going to lie to them. That's an experience I've had with a few people, and they get upset. But the thing is, if you want to be a serious student of his, and this is his way of testing, um, it's kind of like sometimes he will lie to you and you find out that it's a lie, and he will laugh or just sort of, yeah, laugh or some other similar sort of reaction. And I've seen quite a lot of people that mistake that for mockery, but actually it's more like a way of him congratulating you, like you have passed his test. And so he laughs because then you can move on. And basically, if you cannot get past that sort of thing, if you cannot deal with that, he is not a spirit for you. But if you can, and um, if you don't, if you're flexible and don't mind being put in your place, whatever in whatever way that is, and appreciate, actually appreciate a spirit showing you that in a way, and he can be a great teacher for sure. Um, of course, he has lied to me as well, but and pulled tricks on me. And in that very moment, like when you just find out, you get very angry. I mean, I was angry, but at the same time, like a bit later on, you'll realize that what he's done, it's that sort of he always has a reason. And if you have the patience to see through that and not give up and get through these first layers, he's gonna be amazing. Like, he definitely has a very nice, light, friendly personality to him, and you kind of have to earn that in a sense. You have to earn to, just like with anyone actually, but I think he's just sort of more defensive in a way. Like he has his defensive layers, and you need to get past that first. And if you do, you can find him to be very nice. And that's another thing I would like to address, that I have heard various stories of him just only being nice to women, and that he will want women like to have sex with them or anything like that. Um, First of all, I know plenty of men that have a very good relationship with Belial, so it certainly is not a, you don't have to be a woman to get along with him. I mean, he can get along just fine with men as well, and there's many men that are similarly close to him and just have great results, that really enjoy working with him and that actually like him. So that it really doesn't matter. He doesn't care for gender and stuff. Um, Another thing, like personally, he has never ever disrespected me whatsoever. Like, never done anything unwanted or uncalled for. So I'd say none of that. I don't believe in that. Same with the involuntary or the unwanted, the, like the unwanted possessions. I mean, I haven't. He has never done anything. Nothing actually. In no way whatsoever has he ever done anything that I truly did not want. And I'm speaking for myself here, but it's also something I see with other people that work with him. Um, he may just, sometimes it seems like he is like, well, he's not the type of spirit that is to be uh, strict with or commanded in a way. Like, he doesn't really go by the rules. But and well, that can be scary, I guess, for some. But he's also very trustworthy. If if you trust him, if you trust him, he will definitely um, not betray your trust. Like, he will definitely show you that he is trustworthy. But if, like with any spirit, if you go in with any sort of doubt or with any sense of, oh, he's gonna screw me over, he's gonna hurt me, he's gonna do something to me, that has an effect on him as well, and it increases the chance of things going wrong in any way. Like, it's gonna put out a negative vibe overall. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. And he's definitely not a beginner spirit, but he is not. He's not a bad guy either. And there is one rule that I know he lives by very strictly. I mean, he said, like, to be lawless, but he lives by the rule of that his or your freedom and free will ends where the freedom of someone else starts. So the things like unwanted possession would be, or any kind of unwanted intimacy, things like that, that he has been accused of. Um, that goes against everything that he is, because he is about freedom in so many ways. Um, I mean, of course, we all make mistakes, and spirits make mistakes too. But this is something that is so um, respecting your own free will. And if he teaches that and then goes against your, like, that very core of your free will, so to say, like, no, he would never do that. And maybe in some cases, like, um, he takes the liberty to do something that you need, or something that you actually do want, but you haven't voiced it yet. You haven't asked him to do it yet, but he goes and does it anyway. Maybe just a bit earlier. And sometimes I can imagine, like, that scares people as well, but in a sense that is not, it's not unwanted, because you do want it. And in that case, you also have to keep in mind that spirits live outside of our time and space continuum, so their perception of time is different. Um, so you can't really blame him for that. He's just, yeah, like, he can easily read into what you are and what you want and what is good for you. So, and I've seen people, like, general, a lot of experiences from myself as well as others. I will be mixing in some information I got from other people as well. Of course, everyone is going to be anonymous at that. Um, but yeah, it's often a bit like he's a freestyler, like, goes his own way, but he does it right. He does it, like, he does what he has to do, and he does a good job. So I'm gonna have a look at some of the comments here. Yeah, Chuck, I think I wouldn't send him to a beginner, but at the same time, that just depends on what kind of person that is. Um, I mean, that's another thing that Belial loves to do. I mean, I said that earlier, he likes to show you your place. If you are, I mean, I consider myself a little bit of a beginner as well, in a sense. I mean, yeah, things happened really quickly for me, and I'm out here doing videos, but I'm certainly not a pro or something. But it just so depends. Like, there's beginners out there that already have a very advanced mindset, if you will. I mean, just because someone just started out doesn't mean they cannot take on some advanced things. And another thing, it's kind of like, if it's a match, it's a match, you know. You shouldn't, just because you're a beginner, but Belial sort of calls out to you, or any other spirit that's considered for advanced only. Like, if a spirit is calling out to you, if you feel a need to connect to that spirit, just do it, because there might be a good reason. You might be some exception that they do like, and you do get along with them, or, you know, just like with humans, sometimes you like them and sometimes you don't. And there's beginner spirits and advanced, I'd say, occultists, I guess. And they don't get along because it's not a match. And sometimes there's like advanced spirits with beginners, and it goes just fine. So yeah, and what I mean with he's also very good at showing you your place is that if you're going to be dominant, or like what seems to be a bit of a culture, I guess, in the occult scene, is that um, you're gonna have to be like an alpha male or alpha female, that doesn't matter. Um, if you're going to act like an alpha to him, he's gonna test you for sure. And if that's really like, he's gonna see if you have the balls to back it up. Now, if you don't, like, you don't have to be an alpha. That's like, that's another thing. You don't have to be dominant or whatever to work with him. Not at all. Um, just don't be fake about it. So, just like he can teach you how to detect lies, he can very easily detect lies in you. So, if you put on a mask while working with him, you're gonna be screwed. That's basically it. Um, he greatly appreciates honesty. So, um, well, the first time I really evoked him, I was a bit worried. Like, I was a bit scared. And one of the first things he said was, "No, don't worry, I'm not going to kick you when you're down. But you have to be honest about it. If you're like down and you're not telling him, or you're acting as if you're fine, he's gonna keep kicking you, and that might take a very long time, and it might like seriously get you in very deep trouble. But if you tell him like, hey, this is too much for me, or I'm not feeling well, um, I'm having trouble with this or that, he will he will help you out. He will not only just ease up on you, but also help you out. So I've had that several times. Like even if it's just his energy being too much, there's no shame at all in asking him to just tone it down a little bit. But it's kind of people's pride, or thinking that they have to be the tough guy or tough woman at that. That's it can be your downfall. It kind of reminds me of how like wild dogs or wolves, um, when a litter of puppies is born, they in the wild they would at some point the leaders will test the puppies by attacking them, and if the puppies do not surrender, they will go they will keep going till the puppy is, well, either surrenders or is killed. And I see that's kind of what Belial does. He's kind of like, okay, you're gonna admit defeat or be killed. And if you would like, another thing he says is he admires or greatly respects those that have the balls to um, show weakness, or yeah, like that takes a lot more backbone, to just admit that you're not feeling well, you can't handle it, and that's how where he can help you. So yeah, um, I see some messages in the chat have been blocked. That's not my doing. That's just something that YouTube does. Oh, it's there now. Yeah, Magical Mercer. He's just what you're saying. It's really one of his stronger things, like what he's good at. I am going to, in the meantime, add a little blood. He loves blood because he actually has, he is an actual vampire, so that's something you can make him very happy with. And he's gonna be spoiled tonight, that's for sure. And yeah, my goal in with this video is to just get some of these misunderstandings out of the way, and maybe get some of the, you know, some people just like myself. I had a lot of obstacles for before working with him, and he kept calling out to me, and I kept like, is it postponing? Is that the right word? Like not doing it because I was scared and because of all the bullshit about him that's out there. And it's a waste of time, really. That's why I'm doing, like, if you're watching and you have doubts on calling him, but you really want to call him but you're afraid, this is like, don't be afraid. Like, he's not gonna screw you over. That's not gonna happen if you're respectful to him. You know, treat him like a guest, be nice, don't don't wear some sort of fake mask. You know, be who you are and be true to him. That's and you gotta have a sense of humor. So as you can see, I am adding some blood to the wine. I'm also burning him some dragon's blood incense. I got a lot of his stuff right here. And another thing that he really seems to enjoy, for some reason, is, this is actually, I'm lazy today, so I'm just dripping my bloody finger into the wine. So yeah, another thing that he likes a lot are these sort of nice, healthy bars, and mine, this part just dropped on the floor. I'm not gonna give him the part that dropped on the floor. He deserves better. So these sort of, this is nuts with sweet stuff, and it's really nice. I'm gonna take a bite off of his bar. Just put it in here, and he can get some of mine. So again, yeah, I'm sharing with him. And this kind of leads me to the next part, which is about some of his other aspects. I'm not sure if you guys have any questions right now. Yeah, I sure love Belial too. I just called him Belial, that's weird. I always say Belial. So, as you can see here, I have this nice, lovely shell with his sigil on it, and I kind of stuff his offerings in it as well, if he has any. So, yeah, um, I'm going to be talking a bit about some of the aspects, some of his other aspects. Now, you can see here, it's already a bit of a giveaway. This this little necklace that I have here, if you can see it, it's very directly linked to him. It is a picture, or like, it's a, yeah, it's a picture, I guess you call that a picture, of Poseidon. Now, this necklace is something I got when I was just 3 months old. So this has been with me for almost my entire life. It's a bit of a Dutch custom. I'm not sure if that's in other countries as well, but you get this necklace that sort of connects to your birth, to your zodiac sign. So yeah, now I'm an Aquarius, and sometimes Poseidon or Neptune is wrongfully connected to Aquarius. So this is actually not the right figure, not the right symbol for my zodiac sign. But like 30 years later or so, like 32 years, it shows a new purpose, because apparently this means that Belial in one of his aspects has been sort of around like my whole life, ever since I was 3 months old. And so this necklace is his now. I wear it whenever I work with him, or on moments like these, and when I'm not wearing it, I put it around his shell. So basically, the first connection I noticed between Belial and, oh, just other names, I guess. The first one that came forward was Poseidon, and it's just it was clear as day for me. I mean, actually, the very first, one of the very few, like the very first few times I read a few things on Belial, I noticed immediately, like, hey, this is Poseidon. Like, this is first of all, it's like both him and Poseidon are lords of the trident. Both of them carry the trident. Both of them also are connected to horses. Horses are the spirit animals for both of them. And also, well, both are spirits of the earth and of the sea. Belial has a very, very strong connection to water, also to Atlantis. In like both spirits are connected to Atlantis, even through myth or in other ways. So yeah, also bees and badgers, like it's all the same. And even the way he appears to me, So that's something that I myself noticed, but other people have noticed it as well. And he sent some very clear signs that that's him for sure. Like, he has literally shifted from Belial to Poseidon like, he does it. Um, he may even just switch according to the situation, or if the mood changes, or according to what you need. If you need like a lighter form, if you ask him to take on a little bit of a lighter energy, he can easily just switch into Poseidon right before you. And that's how close they really are. Like, it's so very clear, and so um, I'd almost say more than any other spirit so far. Like, um, so yeah, I will be touching on um, his ties to Atlantis, um, but I would like to do a little more research before I do that. Um, there's definitely a link generally between all the demonic kings and the kings of Atlantis. That's something like they share a few names, and it's something I am still trying, like I'm still researching, still digging a bit. Um, but part of the Atlantean civilization, I guess, like there was this a group of rebels, and kind of it's a group that had gone um, a bit decadent, mostly like the elite, rich people, I'd say, and they were called the sons of Belial, or the sons of Belial, and well, there's a reason for that, of course. So I will be getting back on that topic probably in another video later on, because like, if I'm gonna get into that right now, it's gonna take hours. So yeah, um, Poseidon is definitely an interesting part of him, and yeah, it's kind of shines a light, I'd say, on how he's not just some demon. I mean, he's definitely quite a big spirit then. Um, Another one that I know of that I have been told by a good friend of mine who is extremely close with him. Um, and I have to be honest here, I didn't really believe it first. Um, but then Belial himself was showing me signs that um, that person was right. And it's some of those things that you kind of put in the back of your mind, like, okay, maybe this is true, but um, until the spirits themselves convince you. So the other one is Thor, and it's to me it's more further removed than the Poseidon connection, but it's definitely there. Like, it's one of those things that I cannot really explain on video, I guess, but you have to see it yourself. And there's definitely a connection between um, the storms, and thunder, not lightning. That's another god. Um, Poseidon and Belial, as well as Thor, are gods of thunder, um, and earthquakes. That's another one. Poseidon is very strongly associated with earthquakes and the cracks of the earth, and so is Belial. So those are Poseidon and Thor are two aspects that I can confirm with my own gnosis as well. Yeah, of course, this is all personal anyway, but I can definitely confirm that they are aspects of the same being. And yeah, it's kind of, I think finding out these other aspects sort of helps you get to know also the how and why of certain parts on, like, parts of the behavior as well of Belial. Thursday is Jupiter's day. I don't know if I don't know about that. I always saw it as Thursday. Actually, in Dutch, it's literally we call it Donderdag, which means literally translated is day of thunder. Um, Maybe it has to do with the planet Jupiter, not the god. So, I mean, I suppose Belial would be connected um, to um, to Neptune, of course, the planet. So yeah, I don't know. Um there's probably a difference between the planets that are named after gods and the gods themselves. Um, Personally, I am not a very big fan of the being that is Zeus or Jupiter. That is not a it's not an entity I want to be in contact with, as I personally associate him with the demiurge. But well, that's just me. So, but if it's about the planet Jupiter, then that's another thing. Um, it's also something that you're going to find out if you work with Belial and you want to be taught by him. See, I'm leaving things out. um, so yeah, that's it. I think that's about it. Like on the names and aspects, there's more. I have heard of more of them, but I currently at this moment I don't feel confident to put that out there. So what I can tell you guys is about Poseidon and Thor and the others, maybe later on sometime. um, it's definitely interesting. Like I felt greatly honored actually when I met him in his Poseidon form, and I was always like from early childhood on, I always admired Poseidon, so I was a bit, I was a bit starstruck. Like, oh my god, that's Poseidon is in my house now. Like, he's right here and I'm talking to him. And it's kind of weird because I didn't have that with Belial. Ah, Chuck, you found a connection with the Belial and the Necronomicon. Well, I always say he reminds me of Cthulhu a lot. So yeah, and in his appearance as well. So yeah, he has this sort of tentacle beard. And by the way, I think my neighbor is coming down the stairs. So if I suddenly quiet down a bit, that's because I don't want her to hear me. I mean, I'm still in the closet about this stuff, so keeping it quiet a little bit. So, what I forgot to do, look, this is one of the ways I see Belial. It's a portrait I made of him. It's kind of a connection, like a mix of several different faces, and you can see like he has this tentacle beard that I always see him with, or often see him with, and generally like a whole bearded thing. I think that's the part that sort of the transition to Poseidon as well. So it was this crown, like a horned crown, and yeah, I think in appearance at times he does have a connection to Cthulhu, but I personally, I don't really know much about the Necronomicon, but who knows? Maybe H.P. Lovecraft did have some connection to some of the spirits, so who knows? What was I getting at next? I should really write things down. Ginny, is the chat censoring for profanity? Maybe, it could be, but or I just didn't get to everything. Did you mean about the asshole move that Zeus did to Nephili, or? Oh, you said the word bullshit. I think I think that did end up here. I'm not sure. I don't always pick up everything that's in the chat right away. Sometimes there's a delay, and I suck at multitasking. But yeah, Zeus is just I don't like him much. No, it's not. Yeah. Of course, I mean, if I do end up meeting him for real and he turns out to be really nice, I will take back what I just said. But from what I know, I prefer to keep some distance from Zeus. So, Magical Mercer, you mean if you should work with Belial tonight? Sure. If you want to, if you feel that need, give him some wine, some blood, he likes that. Why not? So I was just gonna go somewhere. Now I don't remember what I wanted to say. I will get to it. It was something about how he works and what he teaches. Yeah, I remember now. That's my neighbor going down the stairs. Wait a second. Gonna add some of the incense. And she's gone, so coast is clear. I'm very sorry for that one. Yeah, I can continue talking now. So, aside from teaching you how to detect lies, as he is, well, not just his current position, and he's as Lord of the Earth, and also one of the four crowned princes. In several ways, he is kind of the ambassador, especially in his form, is his aspect of Belial. He is in a way, the ambassador for our planet towards other planets, other star systems, everything, like, because there's of course much more than just this little galaxy that we're in. Um, so as that, he's our ambassador and kind of, I'd say, the minister or the spirit of foreign affairs. And in that sense, he may not be the only one as that. He's actually coming in right now. I feel his presence. um, I think because he gets very when I talk about these kind of things, even if it's just typing, he gets very interested because I probably have to be very careful with my wording as well, not to say things that he doesn't um, agree with. So I'm just trying my best to translate it and just bring it uh, as well as possible. But in that sense, because he treats like he goes about affairs with contact with other species, other beings, other sorts of spirits um, as well. He's also very good at teaching about those. And I think that is a kind of a hidden talent of his. Like, if you want to know about alien stuff, I'd say, or any sort of other other types of species that have some form of contact with Earth, or maybe not even have contact with us, but he can definitely teach you a lot about that. Um, there have been, well, it's kind of almost happens automatically. If you get closer to him, you will encounter these beings. Um, it's not always false light beings or like reptilians and stuff. If you want to know more about that, about what's what, and um, what type of beings are um, friends or foes, I'd say. He can tell you that, and politics, uh, wars. I mean, there's definitely war going on. That's for sure. Um, he can tell you all about it if you ask. Um, he's taught me a lot, even if it's indirectly about um, the species that want to share our planet. Now, it's not necessarily so that these aliens are here in a physical way, because, well, it could be, but like these meeting an alien being, um, it could, if you think about it, we are here incarnated on Earth, but our souls can astral travel. So, um, of course, I'm pretty sure we're not the only planet that has um, intelligent life on it. And these other beings that are incarnated on another planet, they have souls too. So they too can travel. We can meet them in the astral. And that's how the majority of these alien meetings take place. It's not like they actually come here in a spaceship. I mean, okay, that could be, but it's not the most common ways. The same with, well, what they call reptilians, draconians, um, gray aliens. A lot of these meetings just take place in the astral sphere, just like how you would meet another spirit. And some of them are dangerous, some are not. And Belial can definitely teach you a lot on that. So, and I think, well, my incense has burned out, the candle has stopped burning. Maybe it's about time to wrap it up a little. Um, so yeah, that's a very nice little extra I'd say that I didn't know about. Through him, I've got suddenly just gained a lot of knowledge on um, generally on false light beings, on archons, all of that. Another thing that I'd still like to add is that he is also very good, not only at teaching how to detect the liars and how to recognize certain beings, but also on how to defend yourself. Um, I wouldn't really say that he's like a spirit of war or god of war, but well, because he knows so many types of beings, he knows very well how to deal with them and how you can deal with them. Um, I personally, I call him my defense against the dark arts teacher. It's just really matches with his ways of teaching as well. Like he will take on the form of a certain enemy and pretend to attack you to teach you how to defend yourself. Um, so that's another one of those things that you have to see the value of that. He's not attacking you to hurt you. He's attacking you to teach you how to deal with an actual attacker. I mean, he told me he's uh, actually he taught me a lesson on possession, on unwanted possession, by trying to possess me. Same with vampirism. Uh, he he would try to vampirize me, attack me with all these sort of weird, he had these tentacles coming out of him, and my job was to just kind of brush him off. And he laughed when he left with a big smile on his face or something. And if you understand that that's just like a boxing instructor, you have to, if you want to learn how to fight, you have to fight. You have to have an opponent, and it's better to have him because he's not actually gonna hurt you, like, than be totally unprepared. So yeah, I really, really appreciate him doing that for me. Uh, yeah, it's one of the best things to be taught in this world. If you're getting into the occult stuff, and if you start uh, being involved with certain spirits, such as Belial himself, um, you are just more likely to be a marked person. That's very Belial. He is like, well, with this sort of spiritual war, this I don't like to call it cosmic war because I'm not. I'm kind of against the cosmic prison, but this war that is taking place on another level, um, he is definitely a big leader in that. Like he's a chief, and if you want to join his cause, he will be very happy to instruct you on what to do, on how to help these forces. But it also makes you a target for our enemies. So yeah, you're gonna definitely, if that's what you want to do, uh, he's gonna make you a warrior for sure. um, and it doesn't have to be brutal, by the way. Like he has this sort of thing about him, like he's a martial arts teacher, but very calm. I once I had a dream not so long ago about where I was being taught martial arts by Belial. Um, And I was in this sort of fighting ring or some sort of arena, and I was fighting these really, I was like some giant, and I was just me, just a girl, going against these big, muscular guys. So, but it was kind of like in a video game, as if I was in a video game, like you know these video games where like Mortal Kombat. That's kind of, yeah, I was in Mortal Kombat, something like that. And in order to teach me, Belial had the controller, like he was playing my movements. So I had no control over my movements. Belial had full control. But the way he did it, it was just very, um, very responsible. Like there was not a moment that I doubted his intentions, and he would explain uh, every movement in a very calm voice, like, okay, I'm gonna move your leg this way because that will have this and that effect on the enemy. And just very calm, and he was teaching me how to remain calm as well. Well, I was beating up a giant, um, and it worked. Like he was giving me tactics to wear out this big guy, and remain zen, I'd say. And I woke up just completely relaxed and feeling really good, even though I had just been in a mortal fight. So, um, yeah, he definitely did very well on that one. And that's just a thing. Again, yeah, I could say that he was controlling me, and I did not necessarily ask for it, but um, it's no you like I have no reason to be upset about it because it was good. Um, it was a really great experience, so it's all good. It's fine, and yeah, that's what I'd like to end this video with. Um, don't get scared by whatever is being said out there, because I'm just going to be very straightforward. I think a lot of the people that have all these negative experiences with him, either they are twisting the truth a little bit, maybe adding some drama to it. I mean, he's a very, I mean, yeah, it's easy with his reputation to use his reputation for drama and popularity and stuff like that. And that's another reason why I'm making this video, to just tell my truth about him, at least. And others maybe just didn't match with him, or just never got past that first layer. If you're gonna clash with him, you're gonna clash hard, but chances are that if you're honest, if you're respectful, if you don't lie to him in any way, don't pretend anything, you know, just don't not keeping up appearances, but just be the true you, and you're respectful to him, you're gonna have a great teacher. So I'm going to have a little look at what else your guys have been saying on here. If you have any questions on him, feel free to ask me. So yeah. Thank you, Jenny. Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying this. I've been doing this from like kind of off the top of my head a little. I had no notes or so. I'm very sorry if this was a bit messy. The thing is, I did do a video with my good friend JD Temple a while ago. It will be back up soon, I believe, but in the meantime, I feel like standing up for Belial and kind of feel like defending his name and his reputation to those who would like to work with him and who are having doubts because he doesn't deserve it. In a sense, that bad reputation is probably also a defense mechanism of his. If people are scared of him still in some ways, like if they're afraid of or if people who are afraid of being shown their place or just not ready for him or have a too big ego or like inflated ego, they may be afraid of him for the right reasons, and it's probably for him a way to filter them out. Again, if you're truly interested in him, it's probably gonna be fine. Yeah, it's kind of also. I think a lot of spirit have that sort of first line of defense. I say a first line of defense against bullshit. People who call on them for bullshit reasons or for ego reasons. They just it's to them that's a waste of time. But to be honest, I highly doubt that the people who are watching this video are any of that. So I'd say call him and find out for yourself. Like I said, he's a great teacher, and you don't have to be advanced as long as you are honest and truthful and respectful to him. Well, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for the great comments. I did read most of them, I think. It means a lot to me, like getting the appreciation and knowing that what I'm doing reaches people and that it has some kind of use. So I'm not really doing this for myself. It's mostly, well, I of course I enjoy doing this, but yeah, I just feel very passionate about setting something straight. So with that said, I'm going to wish you all a good night and hope to see you